Hey, there are several steps. I mean, there's no specific 7 steps to absolute healing. There's all kinds of different ways that you can, skin a cat and that you can deal with issues of the heart. This is just one way. But part of what I'm suggesting is, I think, purely biblical. And chapter 8 talks about that, the steps to character change. And I like the focus here from James. Is there anyone among you suffering? Let him pray. Is anyone cheerful? Let him sing praises. Is anyone among you sick? Let him call for the elders of the church and let them pray over him, anointing him with oil in the name of the Lord. And the prayer offered in faith will restore the one who is sick, and the Lord will raise him up. And if he has committed sins, they will be forgiven him. Therefore, confess your sins one to another. Pray for one another so that you may be healed. The effective prayer of a righteous man avails much. Is any among you suffering? Let him whine, moan, groan, complain. No, let him pray. Why? Because God hears our prayers. He wants to alleviate our suffering. And much of our suffering are related to thoughts and feelings and beliefs that are internal to ourselves. They're issues, as we'll talk about in the next chapter, really issues of the heart. But, really the context of the passage is that most healing, most restoration, most character transformation happens within the house. That is, within the local church. And I strongly recommend that it's through mentoring relationships that you deal with the issues of your heart. You need to be in the family, in a safe place, in order to properly talk about issues, knowing that no one's going to be posting this on Facebook or on Twitter, but they're with you and they're walking with you in the journey of really strengthening your relationship with the Lord and dealing with issues of the heart. And so, when he talks about confess your sins one to another, it's talking about within relationship. It's a relational process. Even renewing our mind is not just an individualistic thing. It's relational. It's a relationship with the Lord, with His Word, but it's also with others in the body. And so one of the things I'm encouraging you to do is to look for a mentor, someone within your local congregation, someone who's mature enough, again, to keep confidences, and also mature enough to walk with you as you deal with the process of dealing with your own heart. Because again, part of the course is there's a 40-day to the promise journal, which is a guide to help you deal with especially the putting off and the putting on process that we'll talk about starting in our next session. So I just want to encourage you to recognize that it's effective prayer. It's ultimately bringing it to the Lord. It's allowing God to bring healing and restoration to your heart issues as you're willing to open yourself in obedience to Him.